Today we're talking to Kelly from Prohibition Pizza, live at the Pizza Tomorrow Summit. Her and her family came to the Pizza Tomorrow Summit to compete as a family and against each other in some of the competitions, and we talk about that. We also talk about, in this episode, what it's like to work with family. Sometimes working with family can be great, but it also can have its cons, if you know what I mean. We talk about that in this episode. We also talk about her business down in Florida. Got a great business going on with some great pizza in this episode of How You Slice It. All right, welcome to the podcast.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you so much for doing this.
Yeah.
You just got done competing over there?
So yesterday, I did compete in non-traditional.
Yep.
My son also competed against me in non-traditional.
Who won?
Of course, I had to school. Super fun. First time, both of us. Today, my husband and my other son competed in cheese.
Very nice.
Again, they were under different judges. So can't wait to see the scores. And they've got some family wagers going on, which is always fun.
So tell us, what's the name of your business and where is it located?
Yeah, Prohibition Pizza. We're in High Springs, Florida. We are about 30 minutes north of Gainesville.
Okay.
And cute little tiny one light stop town, but great pizza.
How'd you get into pizza?
That's a funny story.
Yeah.
So I was not a pizza lover.
Really?
No.
What?
My husband was the pizza lover. He wanted me to love pizza as much as he did. And we would go out and try to actually try different places, eat different places, and he'd always be like, hey, we're going to try this restaurant, we're going to try this place. And, just never really got on board with this passion like he had.
Yeah.
So he actually started making pizza.
Okay.
So I'm going to figure it out. So here we are. We're like 300 recipes into this, and I bought him a store.
Seriously?
I bought him a building and said, your pizza's great, and I eat it every day. And
So you weren't in the pizza industry at all?
Not at all.
Then when did you open?
So here we are, a year and a half ago.
That's unbelievable.
Yeah, a year and a half ago. We're still learning.
Yeah.
Love the pizza industry. Everyone is so friendly and so amazing. And, it's really like a great place for family. People really share their stories and their advice and have that same passion, which I didn't share, but now I truly do. It's very cool.
That's unbelievable. I can't believe you just started a year ago. So what has it been like?
So, honestly, it was overwhelming.
Yeah. I bet.
I mean, first of all, starting any new venture is super exciting. Restaurant industry, a little more terrifying.
Yeah. What did you guys do before you got into the restaurant industry?
We owned a cabinetry wood shop.
Okay.
I'm a general contractor.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So he is a general contractor too. So, and I was a real estate agent, completely different spectrum.
But sales, business owners?
Sales, business owners. Now, fast forward that into the food. There's a learning curve. Big learning curve.
That's crazy. What's the biggest learning curve?
The people. Sometimes people can just...
Customers or employees?
Customers.
Yeah, they're tough.
Customers are tough, and everyone likes our pizza. They really love our pizza. I love it. But then you get that one person. Maybe you end up with a line out the door. I mean, for our tiny little town, I never thought our intention. He's like, oh, we're gonna have this cute little pizza place. The kids are gonna work there. You're gonna work there. I'll sit and I'll talk to the customers while they eat their pizza that I just made for them. Yeah, it's gonna be all, chill. Oh my goodness, we're slinging 200-300 pies on a Friday and Saturday night.
Wow.
And we've got a line out our door that's an hour and a half long.
Let me back it up here for a second. How did people find out about you, and how big is the restaurant?
So it literally sits 10 people.
Wow. And how did people find out about you?
So, I literally did no marketing. It's just social media, free. Because that's all I can afford.
Yeah.
Facebook and Instagram.
So the pizza must be good, though, because if the lines are good, that means people are telling other people.
Well, it is. It's definitely word of mouth. I think also, too, I love our town. They were starving for fresh food. So everything we do is from scratch.
Okay.
We use the Stanislaus plum tomatoes. I crush them, crush them. And we make our own sauce from scratch. We make our dough from scratch. There's no sugar in our dough. There's no sugar in our sauce. We use a Corto oil, so I'm using super expensive ingredients in a tiny little town that's used to fast food.
Right.
So they're starving for really good, nutritious food. And we've made it affordable, which quite frankly, I'm probably losing money, but I don't want to sacrifice that.
Yeah.
And I want to give them the option to have healthy food for their families. So
That's great. So were you busy as soon as you opened?
oh my goodness. That's what I'm saying. It was overwhelming. And we opened up, sold out. I mean, we had like trying to keep up with the dough production.
Yeah.
And we do like a we do a 3 to 4 day rise. Right?
Okay.
So like keeping up the dough production, I only have, such a big walk-in.
Right.
So literally half of our walk-in is all dough trays. And keeping up with that was a complete learning curve because we would be sold out of pizza. So like I have reviews on our, Google is like, unprofessional company sells out of pizza dough. I'm like, bro.
Right.
I'm trying, man. Like we just opened our doors. Give me a break. We're figuring this out.
That's one review I cannot stand. I hate, how, first of all, what does unprofessional even mean? And we're not Domino's, we're not Pizza Hut, who's mass producing this dough in a horrendous way.
Right.
That can, all right, you run out of dough, just go make dough in 20 minutes.
It's not in my freezer, and that's the thing people need to understand. I'm like, this is fresh food. Like if I run out of something, I can't just go grab it out of the freezer, thaw it, and make it. I mean, we don't even own a microwave. Like there is no microwave in our restaurant.
I don't like when people say that. I wish they would stop saying that.
They don't get it.
Yeah.
They don't understand. Fresh food is fresh food. Sorry, but like we can do our best to, order and do everything that we can. But sometimes, things come in and they're not great. I mean, you have vendor challenges. I mean, you've understood. Like, people actually deal with vendor challenges. But as a small business owner, people are not very lenient.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that's the one that cracks me up. Our other fun review that I like, jalapenos are too spicy. 3 stars.
That's great. Oh, sorry about that.
Yeah.
Sorry that the jalapenos are too spicy.
Yeah, take them off.
Going back to the whole run out of dough thing, when I see someone run out of dough, I'm like, I want to go there. First of all, you're busy, right? Usually it means like you made more pizzas than you thought you were going to, so you ran out of dough. And when someone runs out of dough, to me that signals like they can't make the dough quick, which means to me it's usually better dough, which makes a better pizza.
Well, and you also don't want a place where the food's been sitting around forever.
Yeah, right?
Yeah, that's the other thing. Like, we don't do slices, and trying to get people, like, from the town there, they come out, I want a slice. I'm like, well, that's great, but I believe in fresh food.
Yeah.
I'll make you a personal pizza, and I'll make it like any of our specialties. But I'm not going to sit a pizza out for 4 hours, 6 hours, and then serve it to you.
Especially when you sound like you're in a small town, so it's probably not that much people coming in.
Correct. And I want people to eat fresh food.
Yeah.
I'm such a proponent for fresh.
I like that.
Yeah.
I do too. Like, I'm not a huge fan. I know a lot of people love the New York slices where they get a slice and they reheat it. I'm not a huge fan of that. It's not my favorite. I want the pizza fresh when it comes out.
It's the best.
Yeah.
It's hot. It burns you.
Yeah, there's nothing like that. There's nothing like that. Or even like I ask my wife, I'll eat room temperature pizza before I reheat it.
Yeah.
Because I don't want to, it just does something different to the pizza. And I know some people like that. I'm not a huge fan.
Millions of college students can't be wrong.
Right. How many employees do you have now?
I have 13 currently.
All your family?
No, I have my 2 sons.
Are they all here?
My husband, they are somewhere.
That's cool.
In the show.
Yeah.
Walking around, I've got. I did bring my staff, so I've got one of my gals. She ended up doing the fastest dough competition. I've got 2 that are doing the box competition, and then I said, as I mentioned, my sons and I, we all did the.
So this is like a company event.
Yeah.
I saw that on your website. You guys were closed. Is that why you closed?
We did. We closed. People are like, "Oh, you guys are crazy." I'm like, "No. This is the beauty of having your own place, not a franchise. Something that you're not required. Like, I can close my doors and I can hang out with my staff, and we can do these amazing events. And it like empowers them. It also like motivates them, and they get encouraged, and they're excited to be here. And they've been bringing me products all day. I mean, they're all over the place. They've been bringing me back, "Hey, Miss Kelly, check us out."
Yeah, that's. I wish more owners were like that. And it's good for the team too, because customers are like, "Oh, how can you close for 2 or 3 days?" But then you're like, you know what? The 2 or 3 days I close and bring my team to an event like this where they can see the industry and see the products and see how the industry works and operates and talk to other owners, gives them more insight, but it also motivates them.
Yeah.
So they're going to go back to the shop now for the next couple months to be super motivated.
Well, they're going to be super pumped. And the thing, too, is that, people need to realize we all can't do this alone.
Yeah.
We are a team. My entire staff is our team. And that's, one thing that we do. We tip all the way back to our dishwasher.
Do you really?
Yeah, absolutely. I pay tips all the way through, and they all are okay with it because you know why? My dish boy, he can come up and he can buzz. He can take an order. He can answer the phone. My dough guys, my builders, my expo, we do cross-training. Everyone helps each other out. And so I want to make sure that they're all blessed from their efforts because together they all do it to make this a business that's successful, and I'm grateful to that.
That's great. Can I ask you a question?
Yeah.
I mean, I'm asking you 1,000 questions.
Yeah.
One
that's
specific
okay.
one.
One more.
Yeah. Well, where did you learn how to do that in the pizza industry? Because that's not something that a lot of people have intuitively. Or maybe it's that you weren't in the pizza industry that you learned it. And you're bringing it to that.
I think that has probably a lot to do with it.
Yeah.
I just realized, as a business owner, also, just as a human being, I think if we all recognize what other people do and are appreciative of it, then they want to do more for you.
Right.
My staff is amazing, and I literally could not do it without them. So
that's great.
Super blessed to have them.
Do you have a training program, or is it you?
No, actually, I've got some managers, and they're amazing, and it's sometimes gets busy. We try to train Mondays and Wednesdays.
Yep.
By Friday, it's baptism by fire.
That's great.
You're gonna figure it out quick.
You do learn a lot more by doing than you can watching a video. Listen, podcasts and YouTube videos are great. I do a lot of them, but there's nothing like actually doing the work that teaches you faster.
Well, I love the podcast because I think, too, not having the experience, I spent a lot of time on podcasts and, listening to things and listening to other people's things that they've gone through.
Yeah.
Getting ideas like, I never thought of that.
Yep.
Or, that's a problem I never foresaw coming. I should probably think about that.
Yep.
And if I can learn and not make those mistakes, yeah, amen to that.
Yeah, that's why I do the podcast. I literally started the podcast because I was trying to figure out stuff in our business. Me and my partner were operating 2 locations, and we didn't have college degrees or work for some corporation. We started in the pizza business and just happen to own 2 stores now, and we didn't know what the heck we were doing. So I literally started the podcast so I could talk to people and pick their brains for 30 or 45 minutes and be like, how did you get to 7 locations? That's what I wanted to do.
Yeah.
So that's why I still continue to do the podcast. I hope everybody who listens to an episode takes 1 or 2 things away that they can go back into their business. And the real thing is, I've talked to a lot of people, nobody really has it figured out. You think they do, but nobody. We're all in the same boat. We're all trying to figure it out as we go. Nobody knows everything. There's no secret. We're all just kind of being learn from each other, which is what makes this pizza industry so great. I love it. I love the fact that there used to be a lot of secrets, and now it's kind of in the open.
Yeah, I that's the part that I think surprised me about the pizza industry. They're like, let me show you, let me help. And I've had some amazing mentors, and I'm so grateful to them because, they really took me under wing. And instead of being like, oh, no, I can't show you, they want you to be successful.
Yeah.
And, people coming in, that's such an encouragement, very encouraging thing.
Is there anything that surprised you about operating a pizzeria that you're like, oh, man, I didn't know that?
Well, I never thought I would have to know everything that I know, which is a plethora of information.
Accounting,
You are...
HR.
Yes, you are HR. You are an accountant. You are your tax attorney. You are your social media. You are... your business owner, your order taker, your dishwasher.
You're fixing stuff,
your handyman, your everything. So, plumber, oh, God.
Oh, right. That is very true.
So, yeah.
What kind of ovens do you guys use there?
We use an Impender. We have an XLT.
Okay.
She's amazing.
That's great.
And we love her, and she's a boss, and very, very happy with it, and I love their 10-year warranty, so that's a great thing.
That's awesome. Do you guys do anything else other than pizza, or is it just pizza?
So I have a really big gluten-free following.
Oh, do you?
Huge gluten-free following.
Is that something that is from the area? A lot of people in the area are looking for that?
Surprisingly, yes. I did not realize. So when we first started, I actually had a general manager that I brought on.
Yeah.
She's not with us now. She just helped me to get the business
started.
Yeah. But she was celiac. So
Okay.
I went out and sought out food for her, particularly just because while she was working, I wanted her to be able to eat.
Right.
And so we ended up kind of curtailing a whole area of our business just for gluten-free. So we have a complete different build station. I have my gluten-free crust made out of house.
Oh, wow.
We have special Lloyd pans that we do are gluten-free, so they're not touching the ovens. We have a completely different system. Well, all of a sudden, we have this massive gluten-free following. We have people, I literally drive from Miami and Jacksonville for our pizza.
Seriously?
I have one gal that comes out every week from Jacksonville for pizza.
It must be a good gluten-free then.
Oh, it's amazing. So, and as I said, fresh toppings, fresh ingredients. I mean, fresh, if anybody takes away anything, fresh.
Yeah. That's got to be the key, especially nowadays. I feel like the younger generation of folks that, like your kids or the younger people who work for you and me, they want to know what's in their pizza.
I think it's a change of the generation.
Yeah.
I think it's a great change.
Me too. I'm super excited about that.
Yeah, there's so many preservatives and things, and you know, everyone's like the fast canned, all these things.
Yeah.
Like, just don't do it.
I know.
Like, do your thing. Like, get those quality ingredients and figure it out. And those gluten-frees they're not cheap.
No.
And you know what though? I mean, it's just such a great opportunity to further your menu.
And yeah, and like I did a podcast recently with somebody. I forget who it was, but something they mentioned stuck with me, and it was like, you don't want to give somebody an out. Like, say you have a group of people who go to a restaurant or a pizzeria, and one happens to have a gluten allergy. If that restaurant or pizzeria doesn't have something for them, then they can't order there. The group is going somewhere else. So, yeah, you don't want to have a huge menu, but you do kind of want to be able to have somebody have an option of something they want to get, so you don't give them an out to go somewhere else.
Yeah, you're absolutely right, and that's becoming. I think people with allergies. You know, I have a really bad, like a fatal mushroom allergy.
Do you really?
Which I love mushrooms, so it's terrifying.
Wait, so how did you know you had a mushroom allergy?
I found out when I was working up in New York at a pizzeria.
Oh, really? Oh my God.
Found out the hard way. Anaphylactic shock, super fun. Yeah.
Wow.
Like fatal.
So do you have like an
allergy.
EpiPen?
Yes, I have an EpiPen. And my staff is great because they're always watching.
So you sell mushrooms in your pizzeria?
Oh, I do.
I wouldn't sell mushrooms. I'd be like, no way.
Oh no, I actually make a specialty mushroom pizza too, which is really good.
Oh, wow.
No, I get it. So the allergies, and when I go even to like other restaurants, or fast food places, I'm like, hey, I have a mushroom allergy. You know, the person that orders doesn't tell the next person. That person doesn't tell the next person, and here I am with the EpiPen, you know,
Oof.
an hour later. So, you know, understanding people's food issues, allergies, you know, you want to be able to work with those.
Yeah.
And so my staff and I take that very important. And so, again, people trust us. And I appreciate that.
That's great. When we first talked about you opening, you talked about social media. Do you handle your social media, or who does that?
I do at 3 a.m. every morning.
3 a.m. Is that why 3 a.m.? Is it just you try to get it done before you go into the pizza
No,
shop?
I just 3 a.m. I get up, I do all my social marketing, I get everything done. 5 a.m. I go back to sleep for an hour.
Do you really?
Yeah, you're a business owner. You're not allowed to sleep. You have stuff to do.
It's true, because you're always thinking about something.
Get it done. Yeah.
It's funny because we're at the Pizza Summit, back at the hotel room last night. I had a deadline for a video I had to get out, and like the internet kills me. Like when you're on the road and you're trying to download or upload a video, I'm like, oh my God, this video is taking 17 hours to download when it should. If I was home, it would take 20 minutes. But I know what you mean. In your brain, you're like, I got to get it done. So even if you are sleeping, you're thinking about getting it done, and like, I don't want to oversleep. I have that project I got to do. I got to get it done. That's what being a business owner is like, and it never turns off. And it's not only does it never turn off, but I was doing a video with somebody over there. It's like you have like an owner's guilt, right? Like guilt of like, if you're not at the shop, you're like, I probably should be at the shop. Are they doing okay? How should I be there to help out? Like, there's like both aspects of it. You never have a day off, but then when you do have a day off, if they're not calling you, you're thinking about it, or if you're not thinking about it, they're calling you. It's like you're on 24/7 all the time.
It's very true.
Yeah.
It's very true.
Is that something you deal with too?
Absolutely. Ironically, we ended up going. We were in Orlando the other day. And my husband and I, we had a chance to like sneak off for like 6 hours to the Food and Wine Festival at Epcot.
Oh, yeah.
Everything went to shit.
At the shop?
Yeah, and I'm like, why? And I'm like, all right, do I need to come back? Like, what's going on? Like, you guys okay? And they're like, no, it's fine. And then to come back and to talk to them, and I'm like, I think you guys had this.
Yeah. Well, I wonder if employees, that's happened a lot. I wonder if they just want to let you know.
I know.
That something's happening.
Don't tell me.
Yeah, right?
Let me have one day, please.
Yeah, right? Like, I think they think it's good. They want to tell you what's happening, but they want you to know it so you think they're let them know they're handling it. But to us, it's like, you're stressing us out.
Yeah,
because like now we're thinking about, oh no, should we go back there?
Right.
We don't want to burden them. We don't want them to be stressed out. We want to go back there. So that's so funny.
So-and-so didn't call. I don't have anybody to work a shift. I'm like, I think you guys will figure it out. You got this.
Did you enjoy the rest of the festival?
Yes, of course.
Favorite dish at the festival? What was it?
Wine.
Yeah, that's great. Yeah. Drinking around the country at Epcot's pretty nice, isn't
100%.
it? Yeah. It's kind of the best part, the World Showcase there. Unbelievable.
Yes.
All right, I have a couple questions I usually ask people.
Okay.
I'm going to just kind of rapid fire you.
Okay.
Again, edit it, so if it takes you a little long, you're like, I need to think about that a little bit. We'll edit it out. What's one trend in the pizza industry that you wish would go away?
Canned sauce.
There you go. Canned sauce, go away. What's one tool for marketing that you can't live without? Instagram, yeah. Is Instagram your number one platform for marketing?
You know, I really love it. I like the ease of it. It's just, to me, I love the fun and the stories and the playfulness of it. You know, Facebook has to be a little more serious.
Yeah.
A little more demure.
It's not fun either.
That's how I
Facebook's
use
not
that
as
word.
fun. I know Facebook has stories like Instagram, but it doesn't seem as fun.
I mean, it's geared to people my age.
Mine too. So I'm right there with you. But I feel like Instagram gives you the flexibility to kind of try things out. All right, last question. What is something that so you've been doing it for how long now?
Since April of 2023 is when we opened our doors.
So about a year and a half, maybe a little bit more. So you learned a lot.
Yeah.
What's one thing you would go back to yourself when you first opened that you've learned in the last year and a half that you wish you would have known in the beginning?
There's so much. How long do we have?
We have as much time as you need.
It's a really great question. I really feel like I grabbed onto the things that I needed immediately, like with the branding and the colors and all that stuff. I wish we would have tuned in some of our food a little bit more, but I think we finally nailed a lot of that.
Yeah.
And I also realized like it's a work in process. Like you're always getting better, and you're always figuring it out. So what do I wish we could? Online ordering.
You don't do online ordering? Or you
I do online ordering. It took us a while to get to it.
Did it really?
Yeah, we're still not doing DoorDash and all that stuff.
Yep.
That's my next ad. Actually, catering is my next big adventure.
Yep.
So, I mean, just started.
Or online ordering is something I think everybody should start with because it eases so much of the kitchen headache of the phone's ringing, first of all, which is kind of stressful.
Yeah.
And then having to answer them.
Yes.
If you could just get everybody to order themselves online, it's so much easier, isn't it?
Yes. And I still need to figure out the whole text your order thing. So.
Well, I can point you in the right direction for that when we get off the podcast. Where's your pizzeria? Give a shout out to where you're located, the website, where you want people to go say hello.
Prohibition Pizza, High Springs, Florida, just north of Gainesville. You can find us www.prohibitionpizza.com.
And Instagram, Prohibition Pizza on Instagram?
Instagram, Prohibition Pizza. Facebook, Prohibition Pizza.
Everywhere. TikTok, you guys on TikTok?
So, yes, but I forgot my login.
I've asked every single person in the last couple months, are you on TikTok? Every one of them said, I have an account. I don't really use it that much.
I would use it if I could figure out my login.
Yeah.
I have my son's girlfriend. She's amazing. She'll do all the videos, and she's young. She knows she's got the right demographic for that. Yeah. So I just kind of put her in charge of it. But she's like, if you could figure out that login, that would be great. Sorry.
Well, if we find it, let us know. We'll add that too. So we'll link all that up in the show notes for this episode. Thank you so much for stopping by, saying hello. It's been great meeting you. I know we've known each other on Instagram for a little bit, but it was great talking to you. Thank you so much for doing the podcast.
Thanks for having me. It's awesome.
Thanks to Kelly for joining me on the podcast. We will link up everything that we mentioned on the show, their website, their Instagram, and tell you how they did in the competition because we recorded this after. little sneak peek, they did pretty good. We are thankful that you're watching this episode of How You Slice It. Please hit subscribe. If you're listening to this podcast, hit subscribe, leave us a comment, leave us a rating and review. That really helps us out here at How You Slice It and the Slice Podcast. And if you're watching this on YouTube, very much appreciate you hanging out with me here. Hit subscribe, drop a comment where you're coming from. We're always looking for great pizzerias to follow. We have the pizza community over on Facebook and on our Instagram chat. You can go check that out as well. We'll link all of that up in the description below. So thank you so much for tuning in. We'll see you back here next week, everybody.